ஹியூமன் anatomy அண்ட் ஃபிசியாலஜி சப்ஜெக்டில் இருக்கக்கூடிய ஸ்பெஷல் சென்சஸ் டாபிக் தான் இன்றைக்கி பார்க்க போகிறோம். அதாவது டேஸ்ட், ஸ்மெல், ஐ, இயர் அண்ட் ஸ்கின் இதெல்லாம் இருக்குது. இதில் இந்த வீடியோவில் வந்துட்டு நம்ம ஐ அண்ட் இயர் மட்டும்தான் பார்க்க போகிறோம். ஃபர்ஸ்ட் வந்துட்டு ஐ ரிலேட்டடான MCQs பார்த்துடலாம். ரிப்பீட்டட் அண்ட் இம்பார்ட்டண்ட் MCQs பார்த்துடலாம். ஓகே, ஃபர்ஸ்ட் கொஸ்டின். சூஸ் தி கரெக்ட் ஸ்டேட்மெண்ட் அபவுட் தி ஐ. Bipolar and ganglion cells occur in the retina except at the fovea. Rod and cone cells occur in the retina except at the fovea. Bipolar and ganglion cells occur in the choroid except at the optic disc. Rod and cone cells occur in the choroid except at the optic disc. Correct answer is option A. Bipolar and ganglion cells occur in the retina except at the fovea. Which part of the retina has the greatest sensitivity to light? Optic disc, macula lutea, the choroid, fovea centralis. Option D is the right answer. Next question. The deterioration of sight with age is known by which term? Option B, presbyopia. What is the place where the blood vessels and the nerve fibers come together and leave the posterior chamber of the eye called? Option B, optic disc. Next question. Accommodation refers to the eye's ability to focus light from objects whatever their distance from the eye. How is this achieved? By altering the distance between the cornea and the eye's lens, by altering the distance between the lens and the retina, by altering the shape of the eye's lens, by altering the shape of the cornea. Option C, by altering the shape of the eye's lens. Option C the correct answer. Next. What does the ciliary muscle do when accommodation, that is focusing in the eye, occurs? It contracts at the tension of the ciliary fibers increases, making the eye lens less convex. It relaxes and tension on the ciliary fiber decreases, allowing the eye lens to become more convex. It contracts and pulls the ciliary fibers decreases, allowing the lens to become more convex. Option C is the right answer. Next. Which cells of the retina are responsible for detecting light in scotopic, that is low light conditions? Bipolar cells, rod cells, ganglion cells, cone cells. Option B, rod cells. Accommodation refers to our ability to bring objects at any distance into sharp visual focus by altering which of the following? Distance between our eye and the object to be viewed, the curvature of our cornea, the curvature of the eye's lens, distance between the lens and retina. Option C, the curvature of the eye's lens. What is the purpose of optic chashma? To allow fibers from the medial aspect of one eye to join fibers from the lateral aspect of the other eye to form an optic tract. Option B. Okay, next. What is the presbyopia? Old age vision is due to loss of elasticity of the lens of the eye, change in the curvature of the cornea, gradual loss of cone cells from the retina, the deviation from the spherical eyeball shape with aging. Option A, loss of elasticity of the lens of the eye. In which region of the eye does the most detailed vision occur? Fovea centralis, optic disc, macula lutea, ciliary body. Option A is the right answer, fovea centralis. How does accommodation in the eye occur? When our ciliary muscle, repeated question, relaxes and pull off our ciliary fibers flattens the lens. Option C தான் வந்துட்டு right answer. What is the name of the structure that allows nerve fibers from the medial aspect of each retina to join fibers from the lateral aspect of the retina of the other eye? Optic chiasma, optic nerve, optic radiation, lateral geniculate body. Option A, optic chiasma. What is the light sensitivity cell in the retina that responds to color called? Macula, macula luteae, cone, rod. Option C, cone. People over 45 years of age eventually require reading glasses. This condition is the result of which of the following conditions? Same is a repeated question. Loss of elasticity in the lens. Presbyopia. Already பார்த்தாச்சு. Loss of elasticity in the lens. Next. Which of the following statements about the structure of the eye is incorrect? The retina converts light energy into electrical nerve impulse that are sent to the brain. All detailed vision occurs in a very small area called the fovea centralis. At the blind spot, nerve fibers of the ganglion cells come together and leave the eye as an optic nerve. The black pupil is the sphincter muscle under parasympathetic nerve control. Option D is the right answer. What is meant by the term accommodation when referring to our vision? It refers to the ability of our eye to alter the thickness of the lens to focus on objects whatever they are distant from us. Option A. Repeated question adu. Okay, next. Choose the answer that correctly completes the sentence. The lens of the human eye is a bioconcave lens, produces more refraction than the cornea, can have its focal length altered, consists of rods and cones. Option C, can have its focal length altered. Option C. Next. Which statement about refraction of light in the human eye is correct? Most of it occurs in the lens. Its extent is governed by the size of the iris opening to the eye. Most of it occurs as light enters the cornea from air. The angle of incidence is equal to the angle of refraction. Option C. Most of it occurs as light enters the cornea from air. Option C. The process of adjusting the eye's lens to view objects at different distance from the eye is called. Again repeated question தான் இதுவும். Accommodation, presbyopia, refraction, hyperphobia. Okay, correct answer is option A, accommodation. Glaucoma is an eye disease which affects vision. It is caused by increased intraocular pressure which collapses the blood capillaries that perfuse the retina. So part of it dies. Option D. Which of the following statement is incorrect? Convex lens causes right rays to converge. The fluid between the cornea and the eye's lens is the lens. Cornea is a lens. The eye's lens is a convex lens. Incorrect one is option B. Fluid between the cornea and the eye's lens is the lens. In human eye, where does the greatest refraction occur? In the lens of the eye, at the retina, as light passes from air into the cornea, as light passes from the lens into the vitreous humor. Option C, as light passes from air into the cornea. In order to focus on objects that are very close to the eye, what must happen to the human lens? It must increase its focal length. It must increase the amount of refraction it causes. Option B. Increase the amount of refraction it causes. When the human eye is accommodated to make the image of a distant object focus on the retina, which of the following is true? The ciliary muscles are. இதுவுமே repeated question. Relaxed, the ciliary fibers are taut and the lens is thin. Option D is the right answer. Myopia may be corrected with a lens that is bifocal, concave, cylindrical, convex. Option B, concave. The change in vision that occurs with aging is called. Option D, presbyopia. Is a time repeated question. Next. As a part of the normal aging process, our eyes deteriorate because ciliary muscles gradually lose their tone, lens loses its flexibility, parts of the retina detach from the underlying blood vessels, distance between the lens and the retina gradually changes. Option B, lens loses its flexibility. In which color ranges due to three pigments in the retina have their major sensitivities? Red, green and blue, red, blue and yellow, green, yellow and red, green, yellow and blue. Option A, red, green and blue. The human eye is able to alter its focal length in a process called accommodation. Choose the best description of accommodation from the ones below. When the ciliary muscle is a repeated question, contract ciliary fibers and loosen the eye lens, oozes into long focal length. Option D. Next topic, ear. Ear related இருக்கக்கூடிய important MCQs and repeated MCQs discuss பண்ணிடலாம். Okay. By which of the following pathways does sound entering the ear reach the organ of cortei? Basilar membrane, middle ear, oval window, endolymph, tympanic membrane, ossicles, oval window, cochlear fluid, tectorial membrane, Eustachian tube, ossicles, cochlear fluid, oval window, ear canal, auditory tube, endolymph. Correct answer is option B. Tympanic membrane, ossicles, oval window, cochlear fluid. Which part of the ear contains the apparatus that we use to distinguish between different frequencies of sound? Cochlea, Eustachian tube or auditory tube, tensor tympani, auditory meters. Option A, cochlea. What is the range of frequencies that the human ear most sensitive to? 500 Hz to 6000. Option C. Which of the following statements is wrong? The middle ear lies between tympanic membrane and the oval and the round windows. Outer ear is vented by the Eustachian tube. Option B. The ossicles of the ear pass and sound vibrations to the fluid in the inner ear. In what structure is this fluid located? The organ of cortei, the cochlea, the Eustachian tube, the socle and utricle. Option B, the cochlea. Next, sound produces vibrations in the cochlear fluid of the inner ear. The movement of the fluid then produces motion in which of the following? Tectorial membrane, basilar membrane, otolithic membrane, cresta ampullaris. Option B, basilar membrane. What is the function of middle ear ossicles? To cause the sound energy of waves in air to be transmitted into cochlear fluid. Option D. Sound waves are conducted from the air outside the ear to the inner ear by the process of absorption, transmission and refraction, reflection, transmission and scattering, resonance, leverage and amplification, resonance, diffraction and refraction. Option C. Resonance, leverage and amplification. Sound level measured in decibels is a subjective measure of the loudness of a sound. A sound of 90 decibels will produce hearing damage if the ear is subjected to it chronically, is beyond the normal audible frequency range of human hearing, cannot be heard by the human ear even though it carries energy, will be perceived to be the same loudness at all audible frequencies. Option A. Will produce hearing damage if the ear is subjected to it chronically. Of the following list of 4 anatomical features, which one has them in the correct order of the path taken by sound energy as it is transmitted through the ear? Option C. Tympanic membrane, malleus, oval window and cochlear fluid. Which of the following is not a small bone involved in hearing? Meatus, malleus, stapes, incus. Option A. Meatus. Which one of the following list of anatomical features is in the correct order of the path taken by the sound energy as it is transmitted through the ear? Tympanic membrane, malleus, oval window, cochlear fluid. Repeated question. What is the function of tensor tympani and stapedius muscles in the middle ear? To protect the tympanic membrane and ossicles from excessively loud noises. Option A. The loudness of sound wave as perceived by the human ear depends on which of the following pairs of wave properties? Speed and frequency, intensity and frequency, amplitude and phase, speed and intensity. Option B. Intensity and frequency. If the frequency of a sound wave is increased from 50 Hz to 3000 Hz, its loudness also increases. This occurs because, repeated question, the ear is more sensitive to 3000 than to 50 Hz. Option A. Our ears are most sensitive to sounds with frequency that lie between about 3000 Hz and 3500 Hz. The reason for that is the external ear canal has dimensions that allow it to resonate with the frequency that is in this range. Option C. What can be said about noise-induced hearing loss? It affects sound frequencies nearly 4000 Hz most. It is also called presbycusis. It is likely to be caused by sounds above 65 decibels. It is due to osteosclerosis. Option A. More than 4000 Hz. For which condition is a hearing aid most successful at treating? Conductive hearing loss, perceptive deafness, nerve deafness, sensory neuronal hearing loss. Option A, conductive loss. Conductive hearing loss. What is the purpose of diaphragm on the bell of the stethoscope? To prevent external sounds from interfering with oscillation, eliminate any air gap between the skin and stethoscope, resonate with the sound being listened to, transmit the body sounds to the earpieces. Option C, resonate with the sound being listened to. Which structure lies on the boundary between middle and inner ear and has the stapes bound to it? Ampulla, oval window, round window, tympanic membrane. Option B, oval window. Which membrane lies over the hair cells found in the organ of Corti? Option B, tectorial. The inner ear or internal ear may be described as the series of tubes. What are the tubes filled with? Air, perilymph, endolymph, perilymph and endolymph. Option D, perilymph and endolymph. What are the cells found in the maculae of the utricle and saccule that are responsible for our senses of equilibrium? Supporting cells, otoliths, hair cells, epithelial cells. Option C, hair cells. Which of the following auditory structures are filled with fluid? The inner ear, the middle ear, the external meatus, the Eustachian tube. Option A, the inner ear.